Welcome back to Yeah the Girls. We are in a new cool environment.
I know,
We're
we've been
at
waiting
Club
all
Chin
season
Chin.
for this.
I
How
know.
good.
Chin Chin, let's go.
I'm pretty sure we spoke about this on our first Hot Girl Walk when we were planning what we were
Yes.
going to do for the pod, and we're like, one ep will be at Club Chin Chin.
Yes.
We manifested and now we're here.
And now we're here.
And we've had an amazing guest on. We can't hide the fact that we've already chatted to him for probably about 2 hours because we just couldn't stop asking questions.
We did. We
Yep.
had about a half hour pre-pod before we even started recording with him.
No, it's been awesome.
It's been so good. We've had Benjamin Cooper on our show today, which we'll throw to in a minute to have a little bit of an insight into his experience here at Chin Chin, what he's brought, his new book. So we're super excited to be chatting to him.
So
and
we've
you'll have a look.
decided as a wrap for all of us, that is our sweet of the week.
Our sweet of the
Because
week.
we don't
yes.
want to take any time away from that because it was so good. So that's the sweet.
Also, we didn't mention the amazing food that we just got to try
know.
as well. So definitely my sweet of the week, your sweet and Becky's sweet. So
Cannot complain, but we'll jump to him in a moment. We'll have a quick touch on the game on the weekend. Good to be away in Perth and have a good win with the
Yeah,
girls,
it's
which is always
amazing.
fun.
yep.
And then we'll also quickly wrap up with our last home game of the season, which we need to win, and we also are relying on a couple of teams to lose for us to make finals.
Yes.
So let's get into the game. How good's going away with the girls?
Oh, it's always great to go away. It's a pretty long flight. There was a lot of chat around the body clock, what it would look like with the time
Yeah.
difference. But I think everyone managed to have quite a good setup to their day on the Saturday. There was some little trips to the beach,
Yep.
coffees,
So cute.
little walk, but then everyone having some downtime because over there to have kind of a 3 o'clock game, which is like a 6 o'clock game here, it's actually a pretty good time to then start getting revved up again and kicking into gear.
100%. I almost felt like leading into the game, I'd had a whole day before we even got to the
Yes.
ground.
Yeah, literally, it felt like that. I felt like we were there for a good week in Perth
Yeah.
almost. That's what it felt like. But again, travelling away from Geelong has brought beautiful sunny weather again, which
Yes.
meant that, again, we played an awesome brand of football, I thought.
Some clean footy, some good skills. We cannot doubt that Aisling Maloney is the best forward in the competition.
Yeah. If she
Not
doesn't get
biased at
AA,
all.
if she doesn't get AA, I'll strike.
Oh, God.
yeah.
She was absolutely on fire, kicking 6 goals, which is the most anyone in the AFLW Geelong team has ever kicked.
Yeah.
And she did it with such class, such ease, and, oh, God, I love watching her play.
Oh, she's incredible. And you know what I absolutely loved about her? The Eagles fans over there, very passionate. So they were giving her some flack over the fence, but she just took it in her stride and she just nailed every kick that she took and gave it back to him a little bit, I
I was
think,
going
too.
to say that actually just fuels her. I remember hearing when
does.
she was coming over that she does have a bit of smack talk about it. Like she knows how to hold her own out that when it comes to that sort of thing. Beautiful heart on the inside, but a bit of white line fever, I think, when she crosses the line.
Yep.
But even the
Really
likes
love
of,
seeing it.
you've got Aisling who goes out and kicks 6 goals, but you've then got everyone around her. I think looking at someone like Jackie, she had another unreal game and she provides that both ahead of the footy and then when she comes behind the footy as well. You've got Spud, Bowie and Abby McDonald fill the small
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
roles this week, and we saw moments from each of them in their work rate and the way that they keep the ball live and moving, and then you can't go past Scotty either, who we spoke about last week, that ability to sort of continue to get the ball moving and keep it live so we have a better chance of scoring and, catching them out the back. So huge shout to Leanne. She is an absolutely phenomenal player, but the compliments of each member of that forward group really coming together now is just makes it all happen.
Yeah.
We were having a laugh with Benjamin earlier, sort of about how the key forwards kicking goals. They're usually the ones that are always front and centre, but, you can't do it without the work of the backline girlies and the midfield girlies.
Yes.
But I wanted to shout out Rachel Kearns. You know what you're going to get from her every week, but I think she's developing her game in a way that she's continually being more composed with the football in hand, getting herself in some really good positions.
Yep.
And just her attack on the football is always phenomenal. But this one part of the play, I think we had like 10, 20 seconds left. it's in our D50 and she comes across and just smothers it. And I was just like, that's been the intent from her all day.
Yep.
And it was just a massive highlight for me. So
Yeah,
loved watching her
absolutely.
game.
And my highlight, I think, would be Prezzy's game on the weekend.
Yeah.
Thought she was back to her best self and, really brought it this week, along with Nina as well. The mids were great, I thought, this week. Tough midfield battle with the Eagles have a couple good stars. So I thought Prezzy did phenomenal, and her head was in it as soon as, even before the game. You know, she said she was going to give us 4 quarters, and
I
that she
loved
did,
hearing
so.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love those little moments where it's like, obviously with her and Dan, she's just gone, I'm going to give you 4 quarters.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't stop at halftime when you're having a great start. And I think, was it you last night? Someone said at training yesterday about how there was a bit, I think it was Braggy, there was an arm wrestle. And I even felt at halftime, even into the start of the third quarter, is this just going to be an arm wrestle the whole game?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we stuck with it, you know, in those moments. Do you go, this is just getting a bit tough, or do you rise above? And I think that, our mids between Prez, Nina, Bella
Amy
had
back
some
as
really
well.
big moments, and having AMAC back, her leadership out there,
Yeah.
I think they really kickstarted and excelled us forward to really, pull that game apart.
But no, it was so good to be able to come back, have the win, be on the plane, all happy. But no, we're super excited this week ahead of our last game. But first, we'll get Benjamin Cooper on to have a talk about Chin Chin and all things lovely, yummy food here. So we'll chat to him and have some inspo from him. All right, G, give us a song from Frozen.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not letting it
Do you
go.
know the only one I can think of is like, I mean, it's crazy what we finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, how perfect, sis. Let's lead straight in.
I know.
Great. I'm sure we'll be, anyways, we are joined by Benjamin Cooper, the head chef here at Chin Chin. Thanks for joining us, Benjamin. We're super excited to have you, and we're set up in the beautiful Club Chin Chin today.
We've been rambling for about half an hour before we've even started. So hopefully we can get some of that content actually now.
Yes.
And you're
Amongst
wearing your
recording.
hoops as well today,
I
looking absolutely great.
Yep. I'm on brand.
On
Yes,
brand, as
very on
always.
brand.
We should have been in our Geelong Cats
I
gear
know.
today. But let's get into it, Benjamin. Let's talk a little bit about your journey into becoming a chef and how sort of Chin Chin came about and your journey here.
How far back do you want to go?
Oh, start from the roots.
Start from where you want.
I'm actually intrigued to sort of see how you become a chef. I actually don't really know.
Yeah, where the passion starts.
Mine was somewhat by accident. It was I've long believed that you find yourself where you need to be. It's one of my life philosophies, and originally I was going to do economics law.
Wow.
That's
a change
bizarre.
up.
Wow.
Yes.
Contrast.
Yeah. And life circumstance had other plans for me, and I finished school, needed some time out, took a job as a kitchen hand, and was working in Manly in Sydney
Oh, wow.
on the beach. Living
Did
the
you grow up
life.
in Sydney?
No, I grew up in Taree, little
Yep.
country town. And my mum had been terminally ill with leukemia, and sort of that was what threw my schooling out, and the last few years of my schooling didn't get the attention it deserved. And that led to me I just needed some headspace out the other end. So the kitchen end job was really good. I'd work about 60, 70 hours a week, 3 different restaurants, was making good money,
Wow.
surfing every day, swimming, skating. And then one day, one of my chefs said to me, you should think about doing an apprenticeship. You know, you're 18, 19. It's a 4-year apprenticeship. You'll be 23 by the time you finish, and you'll be able to go to uni, mature age, do the economics law thing, and you'll have a skill set behind you that you'll have for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And so I thought about it and ummed and ahed for a couple of weeks, and I was earning good money. Like I was earning over $1,000 a week, you know, like $1,500 a week back then, which was good money, and I was spending it on clothes and music and stereos and you name it. Like my flat was
Surfboards.
pretty cool. Like I had, at one point I think I had 14 skateboards.
Oh,
which
my
I don't know-
wow.
I don't know why you
Just
need
on
14
show?
skateboards. I rode them all.
Wow.
Like I just had stuff, good stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, you should, you know. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea actually. And I went from that to earning $140 a week,
Oh, gosh.
and
Wow.
realized I probably should have been saving some of my cash. And the first day in the kitchen as a chef, I walked in in uniform, and I'd been working in that space anyway because I'd been washing dishes. The first day was a real sense. In fact, it was the most powerful sense of purpose I've had in my life. It was like instantly recognized that I was where I needed to be and felt at peace. And it was like this enveloping of calmness in it. And it's never left me. And that's how it happened.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
gosh.
incredible story. And incredible that you, you felt that immediately as soon as you stepped in the doors. So
Yeah, it was
pretty cool.
It was overwhelming. Like it was just this light bulb moment of, wow, this is where I'm supposed to be right now, and this is my purpose.
Wow.
I think because like I don't know how everyone else grows up, but for me, purpose is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a sense of purpose is really important.
Yep.
And it allows you to lean into and really leverage the most out of your life when you find it. So like I hope hopefully that for you is being on the football field. Like it's
absolutely.
and I was really lucky to walk into the kitchen that day and connect with it.
Have you ever? Sorry, I'm just flowing off the back of that. Have you ever then had, whether it's extended periods of time or even just really short periods of time, where that has ever wavered, or you've gone, oh, is it becoming more of a job than a passion or a purpose? Like, have you ever questioned that, or it's always just been exactly where you're meant to be and what you love doing?
I've never questioned whether it was the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
I have been conscious at times that if I continued down a path or a process that I was at in the industry at the time, that it could lead to me not enjoying it, not loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made decisions to step away from that style of cooking in those environments.
Yeah.
I've allowed the awareness of that possibility to guide me and to
Fantastic.
make wise choices.
Yeah.
Before, I'd never want to wake up and go, I should have done something about this a month ago, or I should have done something about this 6 months ago, or how did I get here?
Mm.
I want to know that wherever I am tomorrow, the choices I made today led to that being the case. And so I'm very conscious of, life is not always sunshine and roses, right?
Mm.
Even your beautiful Frozen song. And so if you connect yourself to just the happiness, eventually when everything turns pear-shaped, you have nothing. And so you have to be conscious that all of it is part of is a component of the process, and be comfortable when it goes pear-shaped. Why? What am I gaining out of it? How do I move forward? What's the path out of this? Like I'm sure as a football team, you start every year going, yes, we'll win the granny this year, but only one team can win the granny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow the NBA at all, but like Giannis got interviewed, Milwaukee Bucks got interviewed a couple of years back, and last year or the year before, and the reporter said to him, is this failure? And he goes, how's it failure? Like we ended up here. Sure, we didn't win, but like only one team can win.
You almost got to fall in love with the process of it all, don't you?
Yeah. So if you're lucky enough to be out there kicking the ball, if you're lucky enough to be out there doing whatever it is that you've chosen, if you're lucky enough to wake up the next day and do that, regardless of whether it's the height of that experience or mediocre or whatever, you're still lucky enough to be doing it.
Yeah.
And so you choose to lean into that. And so, yes, that's a long-winded answer. But
Sorry, I was
amazing.
so caught up in that answer. I was like, this is incredible. That level of sort of awareness and the way you talk about that driving then your decisions or guiding. I really like that word of it, just guiding then your decisions that you make that's epic. That's such a great perspective on life and on those choices. That's unreal.
Yeah.
well, we're all our toughest critics, right?
Yeah.
Within any circumstance, regardless of who is viewing or commenting on your position, their criticism or their critique is never as hard as your own.
Yeah, that's so true.
And you've got to be conscious of the narrative that you sell yourself. You've got to be conscious of, like, knowing that you are the toughest makes you be aware that you also need to be really gentle with yourself. You know, you've got to push yourself 100%. Like, there's no point waking up if you're not going to go for the absolute. But if you don't achieve it, what did you gain on the way? Which makes it okay.
Yeah, I think you need to come in and give us a little.
Honestly,
talk.
I'm just
Our
soaking.
team.
I'm soaking this all up. I'm actually forgetting that we're here in Chin Chin to talk about Chin Chin.
I'm getting a life lesson here. It's great.
So then I'm going to sort of somehow bring it back, because I could just dive into that for ages, and seeing what you've brought here at GMHBA. And personally, I'm going to expose myself. I hadn't been to the one in Melbourne before coming to the one here at GMHBA. My parents had, and they raved about it, and just the vibe and everything so well thought out of, which we'll get to. Gun just got a question for you on that part of it. But why then did you feel you wanted to bring it to not just Geelong, but GMHBA, bringing that sort of experience to this stadium?
Look, it stemmed from Chris, the boss, the big boss, is probably Geelong's all-time number one fan. You know, like, this club is really special to him. And we were given the opportunity to do the President's Lunch during the season a couple of years back, and then come back and do it again the next year. And it was really well received. It was the experience was amazing. It was lovely for us. It was lovely for the club. Steve and Chris are, you know, obviously know each other very well, and one thing led to another, and the conversation was thrown out there. You know, this part of the stand was just coming to its the build was coming to its conclusion, and again, it goes back to, you find yourself where you need to be, right? Like, if you put yourself on the field, the magic moments are there to be taken. And so this was one of those magic moments where Chris was like, can we make it work? You know, Chin Chin's always been, it's a big city restaurant. Like, it's a bustling, vibey, and to be honest, I was ecstatic that the opportunity was given, because we're into our 14th year, which is a long time, right, for a restaurant. I don't know what your awareness is of the hospitality industry, but it's pretty cutthroat. You know, 5 years is long tenure, 10 years is really long, and anywhere past that's like small percentage
Really?
of people get to achieve it, right? Wow. And so at 14th year, to be given the chance to take the DNA of Chin Chin and take the experience of Chin Chin and not necessarily flip it on its head, but do something completely unexpected with it, was super exciting. Because what it does is resets the bar and resets the possibility of what's achievable. You know, Chin Chin Melbourne is a very unique and specific experience, from the building to the dining room to everything. Like, it's the level of attention to detail for us is like right down to the grains of, you know, sand in the concrete. Like, it's, you know, like, how do you want those to look? And then Sydney came along, and it's again a multi-level brick building, huge history. It feels, even though it's in a different city, the DNA is unquestionable. So you go, well, that's Chin Chin. But this allowed you to go, well, Chin Chin is as much the building and what we bring to the table as it is the guests and what the other half of the coin brings to the table. And for us, the guests are like the most important part. You know, we refer to it as the people's restaurant, because that's how we see it. Like, it's for the people. It's we just come to work to make people happy. That's the purpose piece, right? Like, and so this was, you could view it as weird, or you could just view it as this incredible opportunity to do something completely different and to absolutely re-energize the process. And to, you know, so I drive down here 2-3 times a week. You know, it's amazing. I think my car could do it on autopilot. I haven't tested that theory yet, and I won't. But no, I love it. It's been incredible. The Geelong and the Greater Bellarine Peninsula, the the people down here are beautiful. They're lovely, and the club is lovely. Like the experience of overwhelming gratitude from the club and the welcoming from the club, and like the players and the back of house and has just been the most amazing and wonderful. Like I can see why Geelong is such a successful club. It is, and I can see why for the community this place is quite. I feel like it must have some sort of level of spiritual, like heartland to it, because it's palpable. Like you can feel, like you even sitting here with you now, like you can sense you're all here for a reason. To be connected with that sort of energy is like amazing. I
It's
feel
crazy to think like, we ask our guests and young people that come into the club for the first time, that feeling of Geelong when you walk through the four walls and, you might not be walking through the football department, but you walk into Chin Chin and you automatically get that feeling as well here. It's just so calming and connected, and it's lovely to hear you say that too.
Yeah, there's a symbiosis in the way we approach. We have a very close set of values. I think that's why it's aligned
For sure.
so well.
Yeah.
There's nothing out of place. Yeah. And I think the longer it's been open, the more sense it's made to everyone else. Like, I think initially for a lot of people, it was like, yeah, this is weird. But then you come here and you go, no, this is not weird. This is fantastic.
Yeah. And it's awesome to think that, this is open to everyone to be able to come through, and not often does everyone get inside, as you say, in the football department, all those areas, but they come and they get to experience what you bring here at Chin Chin, marrying up with the club feel. And they get to walk to what them would feel like they're walking into the four walls. They're looking out over the ground while they're sitting having their dinner. I think, it's such a match made in heaven. And even hearing now more of the backstory from you in understanding why those values connected so well and why this came to be is just really, really refreshing to know that there's so much purpose behind it, as you've spoken about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
And you don't get that every day.
No.
So when you do, you really embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking on, I guess, the atmosphere, around Club Chin Chin and around the club itself, I've been lucky enough that I've eaten at the Sydney, Melbourne and Geelong restaurants, and there's always an amazing atmosphere and vibe, not only within the restaurant itself, but within the food, and it pairs really nicely. And I think it's, as you said, a great experience for people to come and eat and come and try. So what influenced the vision behind sort of Chin Chin and the menu and the atmosphere around it?
That's a good question. Like food is a great equalizer, and dining is a great equalizer. Like if you do it well, anyone can walk in the doors and feel at peace and at ease. And the Chin Chin was just this place that it's meant to be happy, and it's meant to be an escape from the stresses of the rest of the world. It's meant to be a time out. And it landed that way, and it was adopted that way by our guests. And so the food, I've been cooking Asian food for 30 odd years. And I cook to make people happy. Like that's my prime decision-making process in the morning, is like, how many people can you make happy today? And so Chin Chin, being as busy as it is, allowed that to be a huge number of people. So the driver is go to work, make people happy, let them have an escape. And so the art, the music, the people watching, the food, everything is dialed up to 11. So it's this larger than life, semi-chaotic experience that allows people to just escape from their world, from their reality for a minute. And I think that's part of the joy of it. Like we often get asked about little kids. Kids love Chin Chin, generally because, and I've spoken to, we do cooking classes and stuff, and I talk to guests about why that is, because I'll go, oh, our kids love it, And my understanding, my reasoning for that is that kids, when they go to restaurants, it's a very self-conscious experience for them, right? Like they feel out of place. And the moment you feel out of place, you notice yourself, like you don't really feel like eating, right? You don't feel yourself, so you're self-conscious of everything going on, and then your appetite goes and blah, blah. Whereas at Chin Chin, because, you know, like you're in a restaurant and kids, it's like you behave and do this and don't do this, and you can't sing and you can't. At Chin Chin, you can do whatever you want. You know, you can draw all over the placemats. You can spill your drink. You can, because everyone's spilling drinks. Like, it's like, not everyone, but, you know. And so
Me
the
after
noise,
mugs, spicy mugs. Yeah.
the noise removes the self-consciousness from it. And then the moment they're not self-conscious and relaxed, they're hungry and they start eating, and then they go, oh, this is actually really tasty. And then suddenly these families are having these amazing experiences, you know, and you can have families having amazing experience to young couple on first date, to really old couple on anniversary night, to business meetings, to that's what this is for us. Like, this is it's why we call it the People's Restaurant, because it's not just about business lunches. It's not, it's about, you can go in and do whatever you need. You're going to eat good food. It's going to be super tasty. Drinks are amazing. The wait staff are phenomenal. We will take care of all of your needs while you're there, and you get to take that memory with you.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
it
really
is that
cool.
feeling when you come in and you're with all your girlfriends, you sit down, you're having a laugh, and it's just that fun energy. And I could definitely imagine the kids absolutely loving it as well.
Yep, absolutely.
But you've come out with 3 books, with your recent
Yep.
one being Still Hungry, which is displayed in front of us today.
Yep.
Where can we get it, and what's your favourite recipe that we should try in there?
That's the hat.
Yes.
Did you know it? I am so sorry. This whole time I'm like, oh yeah, have not married it up once. I'm really keen for one of those hats then.
I'll organise that one. Yeah, look, again, 3 books. Like, just as a chef, to be given the opportunity to write a book is ridiculous.
So amazing.
To get to write another one is even more ridiculous, and to get to write a third is just like beyond
When's the 4th?
crazy. I'll write a 4th. I'm happy
Love it.
if anytime Chris says write a book, I'll do it. I'm happy to.
So good.
Still Hungry is available in all of the Chin Chins online at chinchinrestaurant.com, and I think there's a couple of bookstores that are now carrying it.
Yep.
We've self-published all the books, so they've been generally it's a in-restaurant or online only purchase. They are here in Geelong, so if you want to come down and
Perfect.
you know, and if I'm here, I'd love to sign it for you. They're worth
so good.
they're worth more if I don't sign them, but no, jokes. And look, to be honest, it was that was coupled with doing this.
Yep.
Has been a real energizing experience. You know, like you can either get to day 1 of year 14 and go, "Wow, this is a long time,"
The grind.
or you can go, "Okay, I've got 14 years of experience to me. What's day 1 of year 14?"
I love
You
it.
know,
Wow.
and so that's what the book is. Like, the book is, there's dishes that we've done for charity events. There's dinners that we've done for offsite, huge takeovers of vineyards. There's dinners that we've done for private events. There's dishes that we've done that were on the menu here for opening. Between the 3 books, there's about 300 and something unique recipes. And within
Wow.
that, there's about, including sub-recipes, there's somewhere around 700 or 800 recipes.
Whoa.
So, yeah, like the book's very special.
In Still Hungry, what recipe would you recommend us all trying to make?
One of my absolute favourites in the book is the grilled broccoli with sesame mayo.
Oh my God,
puffed rice.
yum.
Wow.
That sounds so good.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's like it's vegetarian, but it's absolutely
Oh.
delicious, and it's really versatile. It goes with so many different things.
I'm going to have to give it a whip, take a photo and send it to you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, please do. I want to see that.
I
There's some great dishes in there. There's some, you know, it's a predominantly, we wrote this book is about bringing the Chin Chin experience to home. The first book was all about the original opening menu and what went on to become the classics. The second was about throwing dinner parties, because we found out that that's how people were using the first book.
Yep.
And the third one is like how do you take what makes chin 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 chin? Like, what's that quintessential essence of chin chin that makes you smile? And so I'm trying to share that in this book to bring that to your home kitchen and to share the love, because that's what it's all about.
Love that.
That's awesome. No, that's very cool.
I'm not a very talented chef, so we'll see how I go. I may not send you a photo, but I'll tell you if it tasted any good.
I know.
Send the photo. You got to sing when you send it.
Yeah. I was just going to say.
All communication must be done in song.
in song between us. A musical.
Send some voice notes.
We're going to have Chin Chin the musical next. I think it's coming up.
I'm down with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, my boyfriend's going to kill me for saying this, but he doesn't cook. So if he got one of these, would he be able to follow along?
There's certainly dishes in there that even a newbie could.
Yeah, sweet.
Could cook. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. Well, Benjamin, we've got some quick fire questions for you today for a bit of fun. So I'm just going to fire them at you and just whatever comes to your mind, please say.
Okay.
But firstly, have you played footy before?
League.
League. Oh,
I grew up in New South Wales.
right.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
true. Yep.
But my kids played,
Yep.
and I've definitely spent time out on the field kicking the ball around. So
Yeah.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And 3 to 5 pantry items that you should always have on hand.
Good oil,
Mm-hmm.
chili.
What's good oil? Like olive oil?
I generally have a couple of different ones. I'll have an extra virgin. I'll have
Yep.
a grapeseed and a rice bran
Yeah. Right.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
for versatility.
Yep.
And then either an avocado or a pumpkin seed oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Highest
you
burning
need-
point for the avocado oil, is that correct? Do I sound
Uh,
smart there?
I have. That was
It has a
different
reasonably
language.
high smoke point. Yeah. The rice bran and the grapeseed both have high smoke points, whereas extra virgin not.
Yes.
So if you need to like really cook something on a high heat,
Mm-hmm.
no extra virgin.
Right. Okay.
Either finish with it,
Yep.
or cook differently. Like you can do a pasta sauce with it because it's you're
Mhm.
never really super high, but where when you turn the pan on and you get to
Yeah.
that like smoke's coming,
Mm.
Yep.
that the higher you can get that heat, the more. So like if I'm sealing fish or beef or whatever,
Mhm.
you want a higher.
Ah.
Yes.
Handy to
Oh,
know.
that's so
So yes.
fascinating.
Oil,
Yep.
salts and seasonings,
Yep.
and then a selection of spices.
Yeah. Cool.
And I think if you've got those things, you can create
Create anything.
magic.
Yeah. Wow.
Love that.
Awesome. Your top 3 easy meals after a day at work.
I've got 3 kids. They're actually all older now, 22, 20 and 14. We generally we'll do Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Nice.
We love,
Fish tacos.
we love
Oh,
fish
love
tacos.
fish
We do
tacos.
meat, we do veg. Like
Yum.
it's a real selection,
Yep.
but we love taco night.
Yeah.
We also do like a roast chicken is like roast chicken and veg.
Yep.
This is
like that
talking my
classic.
language.
No, I am starving now.
And then we cook a lot of pasta.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
simple like oil based,
Mm-hmm.
delicious like zucchini pasta or broccoli pasta or.
Oh,
Delicious.
Why have we done this in the morning?
I know,
I don't know. Your best post-workout meal.
What do I need
Honest?
to be eating after
Yeah.
training?
Did you say honest?
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, I actually discovered this one earlier this year. I train a lot. I've got a group of mates that we train together anywhere between like 3 and 5 days a week.
Oh, awesome.
And we go pretty crazy. So I come home hungry.
Yep.
And this morning I came home and I had English muffins with peanut butter and honey and Turkish chili.
Oh, wow.
And
The
Turkish
last part's a bit
chili.
rogue.
it is crazy
that
delicious.
would be cool. Yeah.
And like
Wow.
that peanut butter, like, so your body just
Yeah.
goes, oh, that's good. This is
Yeah.
energy and it's protein. And you just get a kick out of it.
I was
So
waiting
that
for you to
was
say
good.
banana. I was like, I have that too.
I like bananas. Like bananas are good, but peanut butter is like, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Post workout for me is generally we train more often than not morning,
Yep.
like 6 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's a breakfast thing.
Brekkie.
Yeah.
What's your
Otherwise-
favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
That's a good question.
Sorry, I'm just throwing this in there because I reckon I could eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I'm the same. I could have breakfast any
there
day
are
of the week.
definitely
Yeah.
dinners where I've had cereal.
Yeah.
Isn't
I love
like
it.
that is just the bomb.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of being an adult though, right? When you realise that that's okay.
Yeah.
We call that girl dinner. That's what that is.
Is that girl dinner?
Girl dinner.
So I've been
Girl
eating
dinner.
girl dinner all this time.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's maybe why I like the Frozen.
Yeah.
The Frozen song. Yeah. I love them all. I could eat
Yeah.
non-stop. I eat non-stop all day.
Yeah, it sounds like me. That's incredible.
Like I consume a large volume of food.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's so good.
Well, you have to
yeah,
for your,
you're
for your
chef.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple more. I'm going to go off script here because I've really wanted to know the answer to this question, but I've been watching The Bear. I love that show. Is being a chef anything like that show? I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very chaotic.
I love that show.
Yeah.
It is
I need
very
to watch
chaotic.
this.
Yeah.
The bear.
It is very, and I can't talk for all chefs because I'm talking personal experience. It's really close to home.
Really?
Yeah, there have been
Wow.
episodes where I've been in tears
Really?
watching it because
Yep.
it's because of
Yeah.
memories of my career and moments where that was so real and raw.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
it's an amazing show. Like they capture the brutality of the industry in a really beautiful way.
Yep.
Like everything is hard, right? Like I'm not in any way denigrating the value of the industry. I love this industry. I love being a chef.
Yep.
And I would never ever criticize any moment of my career or the path of my career. I believe if you haven't gone through anything tough, have you really experienced the depths of what you need to achieve success, right? So like, but yeah, the Bear shows what absolute dedication to passion and absolute drive and absolute focus, what it means. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like a lot of people don't ever go to that point.
Yep.
And chefs do it a lot.
Yeah.
And not every chef is built for withstanding the intensity of that. I have been very fortunate in my career to have an amazing group of mentors and an amazing group of friends and family, my wife, my kids, to ensure that I never fell off the side.
Yep.
You know, I have really strong anchor points in my life. And so that show is very,
Yeah, wow. Well, I felt so emotionally connected to that show, and I'm not even, a chef or in that career. So I think, it'd be amazing to see that that it sort of marries up to the real life experience of it too.
yes.
Well, we do have one more question, which has been a huge question around the club, I guess, especially amongst our teammates for sure. But the pad see is a fan favourite here at the club. How do you make those noodles, or are you allowed to share how you make those noodles? Because they are incredible.
So the noodles themselves we have made for us by a supplier.
Yep.
I basically went through every rolled rice noodle supplier in Melbourne at the time to discover which one I was happiest with.
Yep.
We've been using that same supplier ever since.
Wow.
They make, I think we take all of them. And the funny thing is, pad see ew traditionally is a flat noodle, a flat rice noodle. And so when I first put it on the menu nearly 14 years ago, 13 and a half years ago, the chefs in the kitchen were like, and we have a lot of Thai, Malay, Vietnamese chefs coming through, and the Thai chefs were like, that's not the right noodle. You can't use that noodle. And I was like, yep, I get that, but this is our kitchen, and we are in Melbourne, and as much as we want to respect authenticity and technique, we also, for this to be real, for this to be an us experience, we need to make sure that we bring our own uniqueness to the table. So I'm going to use these noodles. And they're like, you can't do it. And I'm like, well, we're going to. No, you can't.
Watch us.
We're going to. Anyway, they argued and they hated cooking it for the first. And then about 3 weeks in, one of them came to me and said, Chef. And I said, yes. I'm really sorry, but it's delicious.
That's fantastic.
Yum.
Oh, awesome.
And so it's been on ever since.
Yeah.
In fact, last year it was our highest selling meal.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Well, we certainly love it here.
Oh, yeah.
We probably contributed to
There's
that.
an addictiveness to it, right?
It is.
And like, so the beautiful thing about that dish is that if you ask anyone about Thai food, they generally go to a curry, right? It'll be either a curry or a pad Thai or something. that's spice laden and multifaceted flavor profiles and complexities and textures. That dish is like 1 or 2 textures, simple flavors, and smoky, and that speaks volumes about why Thai food is so beautiful, because it takes what could be a real like just pedestrian dish and elevates it to this exceptional experience through its simplicity. For a dish like that to shine in a country that has dishes that might have up to like 50 ingredients in it is like really, really amazing. You know, like it's like
Beautiful.
if you were to think about it on the field, the person kicking the goals, everyone knows that person, right? Like
I'm loving these
defenders.
footy
You're
analogies.
speaking
This
to
is
3
fantastic.
defenders here. So.
yeah, but sometimes it's like the person in the back pocket that's like just who's the absolute workhorse, who's like the absolute, and they're the one that brings the team together, and they're the one that personifies what the values of the team are. The goal kicker is like celebrated and lauded, and it's amazing, but like, and so you can't have a team full of just goal kickers. You have to have,
I love it.
and so
Oh, you're
Pad See Ew is
speaking
that
our
dish.
language.
We are the Pad See Ew is the defenders of the.
I was going to say, we're going to have to come out just for Pad See Ew.
I love that.
The defender's dish.
It is the defenders dish.
Yes.
We're bringing that into our line
I was
meeting
going to
this
say,
week.
we'll tell Flinny end of season.
gonna
We're
snip
all
at
just
that.
coming just to get
Pad See Ew.
Oh, delicious.
So good.
All right, well, I think those quick fire questions, they really
Weren't quick
Sorry,
fire.
they were
yes,
quite. But
I told
it's-
you I was no good at fast answers.
No, I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh, I love it. I honestly, I feel like I was sitting here almost just like my eyes get wider and wider when I really start listening to someone and just drawing and it's like that time Daisy was here and
I know, and
just.
you're just looking at them
I
like,
don't know if you've
Gee,
noticed that
gee.
with my eyes as I just start watching and really taking in everything you're saying. But the last and final exciting thing that we really wanted to touch on was that Chin Chin has just announced it will stay in Geelong and at GMHBA for 2025. So what's in store for 2025?
Good times. Tasty food. More Pad See Ew.
More Pad See Ew.
Look, honestly, I love being here. So as long as the crowd keeps coming back and loves dining here, I'll keep turning up. I think it's amazing. Like I love the room. I love the people. I love the guests. Like it's a real pleasure to be here. So and the team's phenomenal. And yeah, so just delicious yumminess. Yeah,
We love it.
Fantastic.
And
I mean,
as you
look,
mentioned,
it's Christmas coming out, right? So like
yeah,
if you know, as a local, if you haven't got your Christmas booking scheduled in, and if you haven't got your functions sorted, come and see us. We've got big tables. We can look after big, you know, we get hens parties in here, and we get
That would be
It's-
fun.
Like
it's
large
almost
groups in
perfect
this
for
room are fun.
every every occasion,
Every
every
occasion.
person. You know, it's open Thursday from 5 p.m, Friday, Saturday lunch and dinner, and Sunday for lunch. So
yeah. So
you've got
basically,
the,
the
whole,
reason for coming and dining is if you are alive today,
Yeah.
you should just do it.
100%.
If you woke up, just come and eat. There's
That's
no other
fantastic.
need. It's
Nah.
just get here and eat.
Love that.
We'll make you
That's
happy.
the tagline.
Yeah.
No, we love it. We've loved having you on, Benjamin. Thank you so much for joining us. If you guys are interested in purchasing the Still Hungry Chin Chin 3rd edition book, you can come to your local Chin Chin or get it online at clubchinchin.com.au. Yep, that's the one. So, yeah, feel free to do that. And we'll love to be back here soon having some Pad See Ew post-season.
Can't
Normally
wait.
this is like a 10-minute podcast. We've stretched it out to an hour.
We were in
This
captivation.
will be a
Sorry.
standalone.
Yeah. Love that.
No, that's been unreal, Benjamin. Thank you so much for your time.
My
Thanks,
pleasure.
Benjamin.
Thank you.
So, girls, that was an amazing chat with Benjamin, head chef at Chin Chin, and it was always awesome to hear from guests. But you know, Georgie Rankin was definitely involved with listening very heavily into that. She was
like, what was
she
I
was
involved
captured. But we've got a huge game coming up on Friday. We are still in the mix for finals, so we are
and at home.
and at home, which is exciting. Good to be back. We are playing Adelaide or Goonwa this Friday night at 7:15 p.m. at GMHBA Stadium. Let's get all our fans down as much as we can because we are going to need all the support we can get because we want to get the win over Adelaide and hopefully a few results go our way this weekend to push us into finals.
Yeah, and we were just talking earlier about how we often say we feel when the crowd gets up and about. And we're not just saying that. So we really need you out in full force. And it is a night game. You know, there's always that cool vibe. I know when I used to come along to watch the men, when that song starts playing and the fireworks go off and the lights are flashing around the ground, it always got me up and about. So I hope you guys get on the back of that
And
train as well.
Why not?
100%.
If you're needing some dinner Friday night, come on down to Chin Chin, watch the game at the same time. So what a combo.
Can't wait. And I think for a lot of people, they might be taking the Monday off work and the Tuesday off for Melbourne Cup. So to start a great long weekend, let's go watch the W from us while you're enjoying a beautiful Chin Chin meal.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next week.